Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fantasy Worldbuilding. I've been thinking about what to do for this episode, and, well, I had a realization. This area here is pretty much ready for what doing stuff with, basically. I had forgotten that part of the reason I wanted to get this area shaped out so quickly is because I wanted an area for the animals, and this was the level where the animals were going to be. I had kind of forgotten, and it's also where the road is going to be, so I think that's what we're going to be doing this episode. We might do a little bit in that. I have some things I want to, well, kind of discuss, I guess. Oh, this one's going to be frustrating. But I think the main thing for this episode is going to be starting, or, well, hopefully finishing, at least mostly, the road that goes through here. And then maybe planning out at least the areas where the animals are going to be. Not sure how far along we're going to be able to get in this episode, but I think having now remembered why I was so keen to get this area shaped out as quickly as possible, I think this episode and next probably are going to be focused on that. At the very least, it'll get them kind of into their own area and out of the way of where they are now. Is that... Did I not just chop that down? I'm pretty sure I just chopped that down. Oh no, it was the other one over. Never mind, ignore me, I'm losing my mind. But yes, I think that is going to be the main plan for this episode. I actually planted these in 4s, but it seems like only really this one actually did the 2 wide trees. All the rest of these did the regular ones. See? I don't know why. It's kind of... I like these ones because they're easy to chop down. These ones aren't nearly so much. But, speaking of chopping down, I have actually... Well, obviously I harvested all of that ironwood. It was right here. So, obviously that's gone. I did get some more leaves, and I did end up making some more shears. We do have quite a bit of clay, so, you know, it's not too much of a big deal. It's just I would rather be, you know, a bit frugal with it. At least as far as, like, making things that just are going to break is concerned. I would love to try some of those runic shears from, Roots. I don't know if they behave like regular shears. I know there's some added functionality, but I don't know if, like, they are also regular shears on top of having additional functionality. Either way, we can't do that because we're still waiting on the melons. And melons don't grow in the winter. I think they're either spring or summer, I don't remember, but that's not going to happen for a while. We're just in the beginning of November. But just to finish that thought, I did the ironwood, I got leaves, I did also do quite a bit, well, a fair bit of the crystal wood. So we have a fair bit more of that to work with as well. Okay, I think that's about going to do it for the trees in this area that were in the way that some idiot planted. That's fine. The road is going to end up here to go across the river. It's going to need to connect to over there. That's how far I hope to get it this episode. Now, the main thing to keep in mind with this road is that it needs to be wide enough for cart traffic. Preferably two-way, because this is going to be like the main road of this whole area. But, well, it doesn't necessarily need to be capable of 2 cart widths, simply because this is kind of like the furthest end, like this is where the road ends here, I think. It's not going to be nearly as necessary to get carts both ways through here. I think it's going to be much more necessary across the river and over that way. So we can, like, right here, this is... I don't think we need to widen this. This isn't quite... it might. No, not quite. But I'm not going to widen that, because I think this is where this road is going to end. It might snake around that way further, but this is like the main part of the cart accessible bit of it will end. So, with that in mind, hang on a second, let me make a lead. Okay, I want to actually get, oh, we need a fence, wait. I want to actually get the horse and cart, like, out over there to kind of get a better idea of what sort of sizes we're talking about here. Because it's all good and well for me to say I want it to be... Ooh, thanks, Spike. I want it to be cart accessible, but... Okay. That I'm gonna fix here in a second. But let me... Really? 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 Did we already try this? I'm starting to feel like we already tried this and it doesn't work. Yeah, I think we did already try this. Okay, well, that's really irritating. I don't know why that's a thing. If I leave you attached to that, will you just stay put and behave? Oh, well. But yes, this bit, I've left it open because of this, the lignite, but I mean, I'll come through from underneath, I think, at some point and pull it all out. I know it's connected to caves back in that way that we have access to, so yeah, I'll just cover it over. It's fine. Okay. So, that's that. This cheaty shovel lets me do this, which not too sure I agree with, but oh well, whatever. Let's just start by kind of... Oh, wonderful. Is this going to become a thing? It starts raining or snowing whenever I start recording? Oh. Wait, no, that's actually a different mod that lets me do that, I think. Clear the snow like that? I think it is. Well, I'm not making a different shovel just to find out, though. He does actually seem to be staying put. Is that a thing with these carts? If it is, that's super duper helpful. Okay, we're not going to be able to go all the way in one go because of the durability, so we'll have to wait for that to repair. But that's a good start for this. Now, the way this kind of rolls out like this, I don't know. Could we put something here? Actually, that might be a good spot for some trees. Perhaps. This is definitely way too straight and neat. Although, because it's horses or carts, horses and carts, it could be fairly straight and neat. How does that? This would be easier if we had actually two of them. But why is he moving? Is it the rain or is it the path blocks? It's the path blocks. That's irritating. Okay, well, note to self, don't leave these things laying around on path blocks too much. Now, the step up here. In most of these areas, we've been using stone. Here, too. I think we should start using more of the mud bricks around here. Is this area? Oh yeah, that'd fit 2 carts. Yeah, that's no problem. So I think from where it is now, it should widen out. Now hold on a second. Because this is supposed to be a 2-way cart track, maybe we kind of indicate that with the position of this sort of stuff. Like as a, the middle of the road. What is that even called? Like, cause there's no way we can indicate it with the wheel width. Like typically with carts, you'd get like 2 divots in the road, and then a hump in the center, and then it would come up again on the sides, like kind of like that. Like this is heavily exaggerated. It wouldn't be nearly this deep, but like wheel, center, and then sides of the roads here. There's no way we can reasonably indicate that with this. Like, it would be... I mean, you kinda can. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it quite makes sense to me. You could argue, but I feel like it'd make more sense if instead of trying to indicate the wheel width, we went with the, like, 2 lanes, basically. Since it's still freezing cold and raining and not quite day yet, let's, real quick, also we're going to freeze to death, but yes, I think, let's go ahead and do this, real quick. Made these again. Are we really gonna freeze? Is it not warm enough in here? Do I need to light a fire? Something like that, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, good enough. You here. And I said that I wanted a greenery, and, Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's fine. It'll be greener in the spring, right? Maybe we mix in some spruce. What if we, like, had spruce in the center-ish? Then the sort of outside was that. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It's a lot less obtrusive than the raspberry leaf green. I think that was the main thing that I had a problem with. Like, it really, like, drew your eye to it way more than I wanted it to. I don't know, it feels kind of cozy in here. I don't hate it. Although the feeling of coziness may possibly be because of the raging storm that's going on outside. And the lack of storm inside. So, you know. But speaking of raging storm outside, it is making this rather difficult, I have to say. But, oh well. By the way, question. Does coarse dirt have a chisel? No. But dirt does. Out of curiosity, if you use this, can like, oh, it does take durability. Pooh. Can grass grow on this? Is my main question. I don't actually know the answer to that. I would expect not, but I don't actually know. Well, you can't turn these into path blocks with this shovel, so it's probably an indication of something. I feel like if we're fairly sparing with the mud blocks, it could work. Like, don't use them too much. Oh, we could maybe use this elemental soil. I mean, it's probably the sort of thing that they'd want, like, down there, but, I mean, this is going to be a high-traffic area. I don't see why it couldn't, like, just kind of make its way up here. Not too sure about that, though the color is a little too... I'm not sure I like that. Well, we'll leave it and see. Leave it for a while and see if it grows on us. Oh, you know, there's absolutely no reason we can't use this stuff. Huh. Do we have any sitting around anywhere? Oops. Yes, we do. This is going to be especially good to use on the edges. Yeah. That looks kind of interesting. A little bit more like it's actually growing. So, do we try... Do we just go with the center and have it be 2 lanes, or do we try and do like the wheelbase thing? I feel like the 2 lanes is a better way to do it. Although this is starting to get a little bit too straight. Maybe if we do use this to kind of jog to the left a little bit. Like right here. Alright, how's that starting to look? So we've got the center. I mean, here it's kind of... You don't really get it, especially because this is like a intersection type area. well, not really an intersection. It's yeah, whatever. This area where like there's a lot of round corners and stuff, whatever it's called. So you don't really get a really defined center here, but once you get up here, you kind of get it here, and then it's kind of goes like that. And then more of the mud blocks along the side. You know something I'm realizing? Trees are hard. Something else I'm realizing is they actually take quite a few leaves to make even vaguely look tree-ish. By the way, I was experimenting with using the, what's this called? Crystal ground cover as the floor in here. I think not. It's too... I mean, the blue is almost identical to that, and while it sure does bring the blue down into the ground here, it kind of, I don't know, it just, like, if you look like this, yeah, I think actually having now used this a bit, like the chiseled dirt variants, these two, I think we'll go with this. I think that'll look nicer. It's just, I don't think that having the floor the same color as part of the leaves in the ceiling is a good way to go with it. Oh, we're gonna freeze. I also decided that we'll make like a ring around the basically great big fire pit in the center here. Oops. Oh. Okay, that's not what I wanted. But we'll have the fires for warmth kind of towards the edges. I might make this a bit bigger. I was testing it earlier and it doesn't quite reach to like the corners and the edges. The warmth doesn't. So we might make that bigger. Or we might just kind of shrug and say, well, realistically the warmth would fill up the area. It wouldn't just be this linear thing. You know, there wouldn't be just a block where the warmth just cuts off. It would kind of, well, you know, fill the area and be nice, but not entirely sure. I don't particularly like the marble cobblestone as the surrounding like that. I think it kind of detracts from the amount that pops. Like when it was like this, when you see it like this, like that white really pops out. The blue too, that's another thing. Like if you look here, that blue torch, yeah, it kind of pops out, but not nearly as much, I think. So having brown on the ground is going to be better, I feel. But if you look at like this, like the cobblestone ring pops in the same way that does, and I think it kind of detracts from it a little bit. Going to have to do something about the snow. Something I realized is, yeah, snow and rain is going to get right in here, so we're going to have to build like probably branches headed up into the center, and then cover it over with thatch like we do with the chimneys. You can't see any of them from here, huh? Those. Something kind of like that up here-ish. We'll probably make the whole thing taller anyway. But yes. Leaves. This is... I think this is the last of our ironwood leaves. It's just... You think you have so many leaves and they just don't last. I am liking this path. Like, that looks kind of nice, actually. It's a little too straight, but I mean, I think once we get the walls done here and get some more shrubbery, that straightness will not be nearly as noticeable. You see this? There's one of the mods, I don't know which one is doing that, but is allowing me to place below the block I'm looking at. I'm honestly not too sure how I feel about that. Like, it's useful, I guess, but it kind of seems a little cheaty, if that makes sense. Like, a little bit, you shouldn't be able to do that. No, you know what? That was... It's also not consistent. Like I can't do this, so it's specifically been designed so that you can place blocks underneath you, and I don't really like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overly picky. To be honest, I'm probably just being overly picky. But still. By the way, in case it wasn't obvious, I really have no idea what I'm doing here. How is that looking? Well, I mean, it's something. Okay, how does this look now? I mean, it's kind of terrible, to be honest. But I'm going to justify that by saying that, well, dragons have attacked in the past, and it's kind of burnt a little bit, maybe, or something. And it'll probably look better when there's more of them, right? Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It's arguably a tree. Did I really do that? Are you serious? Well, having just spent about an hour agonizing over one tiny little tree... I do like the path, at least. If you just kind of... it's kind of... should do this, actually. You know what? We have the marble for it. We could, at the very least, make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, well, the wall doesn't look terribly terrible. It's It's not as finished as I'd like, but I mean, the thing is, I kind of don't want to do too terribly much to it, like in the roughening department, like do all of this intricate work like this over here if it's just gonna get covered up by a tree. I mean, for one thing, like, if it's all gonna get covered up and I do a bunch of intricate work, it's not so much that it's pointless, but it's kind of, well, you know, a lower priority, I would say. But another thing is, if it's covered by a tree, maybe it's a bit more sheltered from the weather and then wouldn't be as weathered, just in general. So, you know, kind of a first pass roughening up, I think, is probably good to start with, and then do the trees and bushes and things, and then roughen up further the stuff that's visible, do the really intricate stuff. Or at least that's my reasoning right now for not doing a whole bunch of intricate work on this wall. We are, however, out of leaves, at least for the moment, so I can't really do anything with this. And actually, do we have any spruce leaves? We might have spruce. We could do spruce. We don't want all of the leaves to be the same, right? We have 13 spruce leaves. Cool. Well, maybe we can make something super scraggly. Yep, I'd call that super scraggly. I'm gonna blame the fact that this one looks terrible on the fact that we don't have any more leaves. So, yeah. But, did the leaves change color again? I feel like they're more yellow than they were. We're still in November. Is it just because I've been staring at them too long? Or is it the lighting? It might be the lighting. Never mind. How's this looking? You know? It's, I mean, it's not horribly atrocious, so that's a good start. I think we should do the wall. Or at least kind of, like... Thing is... We had enough marble for the wall there, but do we have enough for the wall on the other side? Potentially. Do I want to do that right now? Well, I mean, I did end up agonizing over this for the better part of an hour. I think it might have actually been more than an hour. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track, but this might have to be about the end of the episode, unfortunately. It is a good start, though, I'd say, to this road. I think between episodes, I will certainly do the path blocks all the way along. And then I think I will get some more of these together and maybe do the middle line, at least. And we're gonna want, like, a fence on this side of the road, as well as the stone wall on this side. So, one thing I will say that is a great thing to have learned this episode is this. The fact that they don't want to move when they have the cart attached is just fantastic because of this. Which, to be honest, I should have probably been actually taking advantage of this whole episode, but I wasn't, so, you know. Oh, there's also this we'll need to work out. I mean, could we start using these? No. Especially not if we're using them for the actual trees. It's probably not super duper good. I really don't know what I'm doing with this. Yeah, trees are hard, apparently. I'm not too sold on the elemental soil. It seems like the blue in it is really standing out just a little too much, I feel. Like, you kind of, like, at that kind of distance, like that, like the ones down there, is fine. But it's when you get to like this area, it kind of catches your eye a little bit, you know? Like you kind of go, oh, is that? No, it's nothing. Because it almost looks like there's something on the ground there that's different. Because there is something on the ground there that's different, but that's not exactly what you want when you're making a path, is it? You can't path block these, you can't, I think we tried tilling it. It's supposed to make stuff grow faster. Do you just plant stuff on it? Like, if I just go, but like, if I take these, can I just, oh, you can. Interesting. Okay, well, I have to say, I don't like the look of it as much as this, and it's kind of, it looks rocky and kind of very messy. I don't know. Again, I'm probably just being overly picky. Definitely going to be wanting to use these more often. But, speaking of, before we end this episode, what is this? Where in the world did that come from? Are you kidding me? Get out. Hang on a second. Are you kidding me? How in the heck far can these things spread? Get out. That is a tremendous distance. One good thing about this stuff is just how fast it breaks. It's kind of nice, actually. But, how does that look? Yep, I feel like that works better. Although it does occur to me, we could actually leave the grass around the edges. I know that's where the tables and stuff is going to be, but I feel like, I mean, there's going to be some fairly powerful nature magic going on right in here all the time, you know? So, like, having just bare dirt is going to be a recipe for things sprouting all the time. But I think the foot traffic in here is going to largely keep stuff down, and, like, it's an area where people are going to be walking a lot. Like, quite apart from the foot traffic actually, you know, trampling the plants and stuff. I mean, you're not gonna want to be wading through waist-high grass all day long as you're trying to go about your work, so maybe they, you know, specifically inhibit the growth of stuff, or do something to the soil to make it not grow stuff. Or maybe we could get some leaves and do the leaf carpets in here on top of the dirt as a sort of, you know, low ground cover type of plant that fills up the space so that nothing tall can grow, but it's still, you know, not in everybody's way. I think that could be a good way to do it, actually. Yeah, the crystal ground cover was just not working. And this grass, I mean, as soon as we turn these things on, again, the grass is just going to grow and it's just going to be in the way. So, I mean, that's a big part of the reason that we want to use this sort of stuff as far as the game is concerned. And then as far as the lore is concerned, well, you know, this is not very well randomized, is it? Yeah, it's fine. But that, I think, is actually going to do it for this episode. We didn't get a whole lot done. I mean, to be honest, I really did agonize over that tree for an awful long time. I don't know how people who do, like, ludicrous amounts of landscaping do it. Like, that was hard, and that was one little dinky tree. Like, that's barely a tree. That's like 2 blocks taller than a shrub, to be honest. So, like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do when I get to, like, the exterior of this. Like, the interior's fairly... I mean, to be honest, the interior isn't all that great either, but I don't know. But, on the bright side, we did get this path started looking fairly nice. I think I am going to remove the elemental soil. It's just not working for me. See, I feel like immediately that looks nicer because it just doesn't have bits that jump out at you. We are going to have an issue of lighting that we're going to need to solve. Is this lit up enough? Not even a little bit. Okay, well, we'll probably end up using torches, but I don't want to just spam them all over the place. I want it to look nice, at least. I mean, people really hate the look of torches very often. I mean, when you just kind of have them all spammed all over the place, that looks awful. I agree. But when you, like, actually integrate it and incorporate it into the design of something, I think it looks fine. So maybe we go with something like this sort of thing on the sides of the roads. Maybe. Of course, on this side it could be on top of the wall there, like over there. You know, like this. I don't hate it. Could definitely look better, but I don't hate it. I mean, if you have any suggestions for alternative lighting solutions, like, let me know. I don't know, does Roots have any kind of interesting lighting? There is the Wildwood stuff. We really should do that. How does one... Yeah, there's some method to getting this. Let's see, what is this? Pyre Ritual, Spirit Herb, Bark, Wild Root. That's not terrible. What is this? Ah, Runic Shears again. We do have Beetroot though, so we're literally, whoops. Yeah, we're waiting for this. So we're waiting for this. So we're waiting for melons. That's literally the only thing we're missing. But anyway, like, yeah, I think that works fairly well. Maybe this is a little too close. Because at the same time as needing to light things up, there does need to be space for the carts. Although saying that, we want it to be wide enough for 2. What if instead of even trying to keep it off to the side, the light, what if we literally put it in the center? That might work. I mean, it does restrict things a little bit more, and it would mean that we need to push this a little further over. To be honest, we probably should anyway, huh? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, those don't have any collision at all. Okay. Good to know for sure. Maybe a little more like that, and kind of do a bit of that further over. And then this, how about something like that? That does make a fairly obvious line straight across, but I mean, that's space on that side. This side could be moved over a little bit. That's a little bit... I mean, it's not that much. But we could maybe move that one over a smidge. That would be good too, because that would also make it not a perfectly straight line. Of course, thinking about it, like, over there, since the road is kind of sort of transitioning from two-way to one-way, over there the torches could be on either side, and then, like, along the main road it could be in the center. That'd probably actually work quite a bit better, to be honest. But whatever. I'm starting to ramble on again, and well, I think this episode has probably gone on quite long enough. So I will say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I at least hope that my struggles with the tree was, I don't know, vaguely amusing to somebody or something. But I do hope to see you next time, where we will be continuing the road down that way, at the very least. And I think between episodes I'll fill in the floor with dirt, and then hopefully get some more leaves. It's just, I don't like basically throwing away clay, so I don't know. I'll think of something. But anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. And farewell. And if you have any suggestions for other sorts of blocks we can use on the road, do let me know, because, like, we have quite a few mods going here, and I am not familiar with most of them anywhere near enough to know, you know, what kind of blocks could be used instead. So let me know if you know anything interesting.